Okay, numeric type conversion. This is going to help you if you're ever working with numbers and you need to do some sort of calculation. With numeric literals, as we've shown earlier, let's say we're creating a variable pi, we can simply do 3 plus 0.14159, and that's going to create a double. And because we're using numeric literals, there's no problem there. Now let's comment this out and show a little bit of different code where we specify an int variable and a double variable and try and add them together to create a new variable. And now, of course, we want this to be a double, right? Because when combining an int and a double, there's a decimal, so we need to create a double. But this is not going to compile. And the reason is, in this example, the numeric literals, the Swift compiler is able to recognize, okay, here's an int, here's a double, I'm going to create a double. But here, since this is a type-safe programming language, it sees, okay, I have a int and I have a double, I'm trying to add them, that's not okay. So the way to get around this is using an initializer for whatever type you're trying to create. So we need to, essentially, if we want pi to be a double, we need to add two doubles together. So you do that by just typing the name of the type, do an open parentheses, and then a closing parentheses around whatever value you want to convert. So what this is doing is calling the initializer on the double type. And this initializer is going to take a lot of values, but it's not going to take every value in the whole world. One type it definitely does take is an int, and you can see here that pi now is a double, just like we would expect it to be. If you don't believe me, here we'll put it down here. See, 3.142. Now, something else to consider is if you're going to create a int from some floating number, either a float or a double. So let's say var int pi. Sounds delicious. So we're going to say a int variable plus a double variable. So again, we have an error just like we did last time. Now, rather than making this a int variable into a double and trying to add two doubles together to create a double, we want to add a int and an int together to make an int. So we do the exact opposite with creating a int initializer. Just use the open parentheses. And now int pi is a, oh, I put the int around the wrong thing. Excuse me. Need to put it around the double. And now int pi is a int. And the thing to remember is if you ever pass a floating number into the int initializer, it's going to drop whatever decimal place is there. So an easy way to think of this is that it's going to simply round down the number. So for example, it passed in 0.14159, so it simply goes down to 0. So if we put something like 7.14159, that takes it down to 7. 7 plus 3 equals 10. So just a little bit to remember with numeric type conversion if you're ever going to be working with these different types and doing some computational things.